But tip, you're just in time because we're just about to start talking about our next match, which is going to be Gac Guys versus Tibostan. Now, Gac Guys, a team of the legendary Melon Patch Gaming organization. And they are represented on your left-hand side by Lord of the Browns, Caden33, Dragonfishy, and Sager. They scored 2.80 goals per game in their last match and racked in 2.2 saves per game and an incredible 2.4 assists per game as well. So most of those goals being assisted. Seems like a lot of team plays were in the strategy last week. And it was a match that they ultimately won, 14 goals across 5 games against Killer Unagi. So a good series for them. I'm sure they're happy that they were able to close it out. And then on your right-hand side, we've got Tibostan, represented by Borchad, Stancher, and Tip, who just followed me a minute ago. Are they godly? This is a tier 2 match, so there will probably be some godly players on here. But Tibostan not as fortunate as the Gac Guys were last week. Tibostan falling 0-3 to Nebula Astronaut, only scoring 3 goals across those 3 games, getting swept. So contrasting fortunes for these teams at the end of week number 1. But we'll see how they can... Oh. RGB. We'll see how they fare at the end of this game. I'm sure Tibostan going to be out for vengeance and try to prove that they're better than they performed in week number 1. And Gac Guys of Melon Patch just looking to keep on going. Go 2-0 in the circuit, continue to put in goals and work on team plays. And perhaps the goal for them will be to win, but not at the end of 5 games. Well, I'm sure they'll be looking for to lower that to 4 games or even better, even to a sweep. Okay. So here we go. Game number 1 between Gac Guys and Tibostan. The Gac Guys of the big Rocket League IGL org Melon Patch Gaming. They have one of the orgs that has a team competing in the Invitational. So plenty of talent running through that org. I'm sure the Gac Guys will show us why they should be feared. Tibostan looking to just have a better performance than they did in week 1. Score a couple more goals, perhaps get their first game win of the circuit, and just overall seek some improvement. Borchad down the left side towards Tip. Can't quite run onto it as that bounce goes super high. Forces Lord of the Browns into a high clearance. Dragonfishy 15 this one with a Tibostan defender. Borchad up for it. And Cade gonna crash in and try to keep it as deep in the orange half as possible. A good follow-up touch from Tip to get it past the pressure. Dragonfishy sticking with it, trying to get as many blocks as they can. Dragonfishy pops it up to the mid. But Lord of the Browns not there to follow it up. Oh, Dragonfishy could get there first, and they just barely missed contact. Stancher able to clear it out. Caden continuing to follow it up. Dragonfishy try getting a spicy touch to put it on net. Miss there from Caden, still picked up by Dragon. Gac Guys able to keep it in the corner for the most part until that moment, but not really able to get it out across and into a super dangerous position. Stancher sending this one back infield, continuing to follow in the air. Caden up with 100 boost, is only able to tap it backwards. Borchat up for it. They're not going to go for the follow-up. Probably thinking that they couldn't get to it in time. None of their teammates were there to get it either. Good demo from Lord of the Browns. Caden, slow touch, not able to get it past Stancher, who kicks it into the blue half. Oh, a whiff from Lord of the Browns. It could lead to a goal for Gac. But no shots on target in this last little bit for really either team, it feels like. Both teams kind of going up and down the pinch, trying to make something happen, but no clear-cut chances really coming for either of these teams. The Lord of the Browns, that was the first save for the Gac Guys that entire match. Dragonfish, he sent this one across to Caden. Perhaps Gac Guys still trying to warm themselves up and get those passing plays on point. Because we haven't seen any sort of like infield passes, nothing too complex to try to really beat the Tibostan defense. Tip trying to get a bump on Caden. Stancher taps to the infield. Borchat down to Tip. Both of them going to go past it, and that one's going to go downfield. It is wide, and Tip's going to go up the wall and try to deal with it. Dragonfish, he gets the demo, though, so no follow-up from Tip. A follow-up demo on Borchat, and Caden's going to follow it up. 1-0 for the Gac Guys. 22 seconds left. Oh, my goodness. Demolition after demolition from the Gac Guys, and that is what it took to open up the defense of Tibostan. Borchat gonna follow this one up. Can Tibostan get a 0-second goal here, or just a last-second goal? Oh, that's falling in front of the blue net, and nobody's there. Oh, it was over the goal line. It was on the goal line. And nobody there to finish it off. The Gac Guys defender able to get around it and keep it out. Very, very close. Like I said, chance is hard to come by for Gac Guys and Tibostan. Gac Guys with 4 shots, Tibostan with 3. So it was a very back and forth game. And I think both teams still trying to feel each other out, still trying to find their rhythm, find their pace, and find their comfort level. And maybe we'll see things open up here in games 2 and 3 as these teams start to get more settled. What does it take to be a commentator? You can join... if you do !IGL, that'll take you to the website or the Discord, and you can find information on how to be a caster in both those places. And we can chat after the stream if you're interested. And Stature, finally! A goal coming out that's not in the dying seconds. Looks like we might actually get the scoring here, or get the scoring started here. I'm sorry, Tibostan going up 1-0 within the first 3 seconds. The Tibostan's first goal of the series, and Tib gonna make it number 2. Stancher, great touch off that sidewall to keep it close. The good beat pass to Tip, recognizing Caden was in an awkward position, diving in, getting a dunk. Double the lead for Tibostan within 13 seconds of the match starting. But Tibostan finding their 4th and 5th goals of the circuit after getting shut out in game number 1. A much better start from them, and it would have been a much better start for Gac Guys as well if they had been the ones on it. Both of these teams starting off fairly slow, not a whole lot of opportunities made. But there it was for Tibostan, 2 created opportunities off kickoffs the first couple seconds. Tip does well to get there first. Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Browns was ready for a tap down in front of the net. It's a good redirect. It's going to be cut out by Lord of the Browns. Tip trying to get there, but a great bump from Dragon denies the opportunity. 50 Cent still back in a central position. Tip looking for a follow-up. Couple touches off the backboard, but it's still not going to get out far enough for any teammate to get onto it. Borchat sending that one towards the net, but it's cleared out by the blue defense. Tip looking for the double tap, and they can't get it. Oh, and they almost got a bump on Lord of the Browns there, too. I think they flipped just a hair too early. So when they flipped, they ended up getting above the person who was going to clear the ball. It's a decent pop-up, but it's still met by Caden. Lord of the Browns picking this one up. It's an early pressure from Tip. Sent it towards the middle. There's nobody there to be found. Tip continuing to crash. Looking for their third goal involvement of the game. Tibostan doing well to limit Gac Guys to only a few opportunities in the first half. Gac Guys more focused on keeping the ball out of their own net. They haven't had a whole lot of time to think about how they can score the ball on the orange one. Good push down from Dragon. Browns pushing it center, but Stancher gonna beat Caden, but it's gonna be cleared out by the blue defense. Still. Tip to the corner, Caden picking it up. The flick past Tip. Tip, I think that was, yeah, Tip looking for a demo, but no shot coming in from Borchad quick enough to make it count. Tibostan certainly with better opportunities and more pressure here in game number 2. The midfield press working very well against Gac Guys. I'm sure this game Tibostan felt a bit hard done by. In game number 1 is so close. Literally the dying seconds until somebody scored. And even then, Tibostan heartbreak on the goal line, but no such heartbreak in game number 2. Tip with their third goal involvement of the game. Tibostan now to a 3-goal lead with just over a minute to go. Gac Guys now in a dangerous position. I'm sure that they'll be wanting to show better to show that game 1 wasn't just a fluke. And there it is. Dragonfishy gets 1 back. 44 seconds for 2, not impossible. And once again, demos were what it took to break down the Tibostan defense. I think the follow through demo attempt forced Stancher to jump up, and that's why they couldn't come into net and save it. So Gac Guys got to recognize a pattern here that if they're going to break down Tibostan, they've got to play physical. They've got to start getting bumps and demos to open up the opportunities, because the Tibostan defense doing very well right now, very very solid, very tight. No openings there by default. They're going to have to be forced open by the Gac Guys. Well, still picking it up was the Gac Guys, but Tibostan sending it away as they win game number 2 and tie up the series at 1-1. Yeah, a far better showing from Tibostan, as we can see from the stats there. 10 shots for Tibostan, and forcing Gac Guys into 6 saves. The Gac Guys getting a singular opportunity on net, and it was that goal that they scored. So Tibostan not having to put in any saves. When did I start? I started week 6 of the winter circuit. So it was like halfway through too. So I cast a couple matches week 6 and then casted throughout the playoffs. And last week was my the start of my first entire circuit for IGL. So game number 3 between these two teams, and very contrasting games. But what's not different is that Tip can score. Stancher, great follow through to pass that off the back wall, and Tip, a well placed shot way above Dragon. Another early goal for Tibostan, just as they took him 3 seconds in game 1. And now it's 5 seconds in game. I'm sorry, 3 seconds in game 2. 5 seconds in game 3. Numbers. But games 1 and 2 very different in this series. Game 1 closely fought all the way through, and not many opportunities to show for it. A lot of back and forth, ball getting stuck in the corner. Whiffs and bad passes, giving up sustained challenging opportunities, and it was the last seconds that finally a breakthrough was made. And even then, it still was almost tied up, had it not been for the last-ditch efforts of the Gac defense. But then in game number 3, Tibostan taking full control of the game, dominating the shooting opportunities, dominating the possession, and making their chances count. We weren't forced to wait over 4 minutes for our first goal of the game. We were retreated to 3 that time, and all of them going through Tip one way or another. Borch had a good dunk. It gets demoed by Lord of the Browns, though, so Kane might have an opportunity. 2-on-3 for a couple seconds. The Tip's able to get it away. The shot from Lord of the Browns, saved by Tip. Now Kane's going to tap this into their own corner, try to follow it up. Tip catches it now. Flick inside. Stancher gets demoed, so Borchard going to boot it off of the backboard. It's sent away. But dragging the fake challenge from Stancher. Borchard's able to come in with a challenge. No follow-up there from Tibostan, so blue was able to get it into the orange half, but was quickly put back into the blue side. Starting to get back into that back and forth memento. Or, sorry, tempo. I mean, Tip scored early within the first couple seconds, but in the past, like 2 minutes, there really hasn't been a lot from either of these teams. Lots of touches off the backboard. Oh, and as I say that, Stancher, a very good opportunity. Tip's still trying to turn it in. They can't. Stancher, that's a shot on net, and Borchad able to get out of the way. Borchad forcing Lord of the Browns into that save. Or into that touch, and it ended up being a weak one. The shot from Stancher almost deflected in by their third man who's sitting in the path, but the backflip just barely out of reach. Stancher will get credit. Tip sends it high to the sidewall. Trying to follow it up, but you're going to get beat there by a defender. Tip going to pick this up in their backfield. Trying to send it through. It gets it past two. Can they get it past the third one? They can't get it past Caden. Puts in a strong play right there to keep it to 2 goals. As you go into the last 30 seconds, once again, Gac Guys need a goal here, or else they risk being put on, or being threatened by a match point scenario in favor of Tibostan. And it looks like Gac not going to be able to get... Okay, they are going to be able to get one. Through Caden. And once again, the demos was what it took. Gac Guys not bringing out any of the demos that I said that they needed in game number 2. All 3 of Gac Guys' goals in this series have come when they have gotten physical, when they have eliminated players from the play. And Tibostan scored early and fell right back into that same game that they've been doing the entire time, just back and forth. It was in favor of Tibostan because they had the lead. And thankfully thankfully for them, they were able to get a follow-up goal and put the lead to 2. But Gac Guys need to do that sooner. And part of it may be that, at the end of the game, like 2 goals up, a couple seconds left, Tibostan may not be worried, and they might get complacent in those last couple seconds, and that's why the space opens up the way it does with the demos. But even then, we haven't even seen it really attempted by the Gac Guys, and I think that's the way through for them. Well, let's see if they can recognize and implement it, and perhaps force a game number 5. Oh, Borch had a great pass in field. Tip's not able to get there early enough to still put it into the goal. But they're still hanging on to possession, trying to send it inside once more. Borch had going to pick this up, but they're demoed by Lord of the Browns. Stancher going to go up the wall for this. Early pressure on Dragonfishy, but Dragon staying strong on that occasion. Lord sends it across, but both of their players retreating. That was probably right because that clearance, very threatening, is a huge boot downfield, and then the waterfall, perfect from off the corner of the top corner of the wall. Nobody able to capitalize on any opportunities in the first minute. Lord of the Browns. There's a demo on board chat. It might give Caden possession, but they whiff. Oh, is that one going to fall through? Oh, that is very close. Lord of the Browns still getting a demo on board chat. And Caden going to send it through. That is what I'm talking about from Gac Guys. That is what they needed to do. They needed to get physical. And what happens? 2 demos in relatively quick succession. Opens up space and some time to get pressure in. And now the Gac Guys are up 1-0. And it's not a goal that they scored in the last minute of the game. There's still a full 3.5 minutes. Dragonfishy trying to force that one through. Try to double the advantage for Gac Guys. Lord, getting a demo on board chat. This could make it tough for Tibostan to go back on the offense. Dragon trying to get it past board chat. Lord pushing it back towards the middle. Stancher looks to get there first. It's downfield. Dragon needs to get the right touch here. And it's actually a great catch. Tip. Not able to get it past Lord. Oh, and that was almost number 2 for the Gac Guys. A very close play. Sent away by Dragon. He gets a follow-up. Oh, that bounces awkwardly off the wall. Tip needs to make that touch, and they do well to get it. They're able to get it past one off some 1-2 passing on the defense. Oh, Lord, popped that one up. I was looking for the double tap. But Borchad's able to carry it out. Stancher pushing it further through. Oh, and that looks to be going top corner, but it's saved by Lord. It's a great shot from Tip. Caden gets a demo on Tip, and this is going to allow Gac Guys to try to break out of their half. This one downfield from Borchad, but nobody able to follow it on. I think we saw a little bump right there, and certainly it's showing how well these bumps and these demos are working on Tibostan. They had their solid rotation. It was absolutely locked down, but the demos and bumps forcing them into weird positions, weird situations, ones that they're uncomfortable in. It's relieved the pressure that Tibostan has had. There haven't been as many opportunities as they would have liked. The pressure hard to sustain, but it's 13 seconds left, and Stancher going to get one there. A 2v1 situation between orange and blue. Unfortunately, the blue defender just flying through. Tied up now, 13 seconds. And on that occasion, Gac Guys just overstretching there, leaving it to a 1v2 situation. And no patience on the defense there. Wait for the right opportunity. The right opportunity to challenge, that is. Oh, is that the 0 second? That is! Caden, 0 seconds left. Lord of the Browns, the tap off the backboard. And Caden diving in, able to get enough under it to get it to the goal. Gac Guys forcing game number 5. And this was much better from them. Look at that. Gac Guys 11 shots, Tibostan still 6, so Tibostan still given some room to breathe. And did have chances. But not as many as they had. And they weren't clinical either. But that was what the Gac Guys needed to do. They needed to get physical, and they did. They opened up the defense well, and they certainly got a big scare after Tibostan scored in those dying moments. But Caden coming up clutch with the 0-second goal. So winner takes all game number 5 between Gac Guys and Tibostan. Stancher up first, gonna get the double tap. They don't need it. It's just gonna fall in. And Stancher, after their last second goal. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Caden that did that. Never mind. I was gonna say after Stancher got a 0-second, they started off early as well, but Caden was the one that got the 0-second. Stancher not able to find the top corner, is now Dragon trying to take it downfield. Borchad looking for the flick. That is a fantastic flick, and it's Bardowski. Borchad makes it 2 within 30 seconds for Tibostan. And we need to talk about how good Tibostan has looked, both in the game and on paper, compared to last week's match. Last week's circuit match, they only scored 3 goals the entire time. They got swept, and it did not look good for them. But here, while the overall goal scoring has been relatively low, it is certainly much better than it was last week. And now they have the game wins to show for it, and they may even have a series win to show for it. Oh, that is a good play from the Gac Guys. A well-worked passing play there. Lord of the Browns seeing it downfield, and Caden, the quick touch. Still putting in a position where Brown could get the shot up, and they get it past Tip. It was a great pass from Caden. Tip is absolutely right. Dragonfishy trying to follow this one. They get it up and over, but Tip able to make the save. Caden looking to pressure. Oh, that's going to be on target. Lord of the Browns with the demo on board, Chad, so Stancher has to carry it out. 1v1 with Caden and Stancher. The second defender from Gac Guys coming in quickly. Tip, infield pass. Oh, they cut off Stancher there. We could have had a laser of a shot on net and had all the angles to work with as well. A miscommunication there, costing them. Oh, and Tip's 50 Cent out. It was off the crossbar and it went out. There wasn't a save or clearance credited, so I don't know if somebody got a touch on that or whether the bar itself sent it out. Oh, but Stancher trying to send it over under the defense. The backflip is going to send it in. just past the halfway point. Tibostan back to the 2-goal lead. Well done from Stan to backflip and just try to do anything to get a touch and send it into the goal. Tried getting a crazy angle too to just fall into it on their aerial. Oh, poor Chad trying to find a bump on Lord of the Browns, but got demoed instead by Borchad. Well, the Browns picking this one up in their corner. Oh, the double commit on the defense. Oh, where does the orange players that could be there to crash the net? Or at least boom the ball back. Borchad needs to make a save here, and that is a fantastic save. Off of Caden's shot. Lord of the Browns demoing tip. Lord getting a lot of demos and bumps here. It seems like they're really the ones that are taking over the physical responsibility. And as I say that, Caden coming in with the demo of their own as well. And now we see Tibostan in a situation where they can't break out of their own half. It's a great opportunity for Caden, but it's a well saved by Borchad. Stancher with full boost. Now, pass infield. That's a Borchad, and that shot is on target. A great passing play from Stancher and Borchad to counterattack, break out of their own half, and earn a goal out of it. Well placed by Borchad. Way to be in their right position. Get the right angles, the right power. Four to 1 for Tibostan. But Dragonfishy looking to bring it back to only 2 goals with a minute to go. Gac Guys gonna need even more physical plays to come out. They've certainly been there. Haven't capitalized on them really yet. But they've also been overstretching themselves on defense. There's that fine balance that needs to be found. And 1 goal now. Lord of the Browns taking it all the way down, and Dragonfishy there for it. Caden not able to get in the right position for it. But 48 seconds left. And Gac Guys could certainly get 1 more. I think this series needs it needs an overtime. Game 5. That shot or that pass going all the way around the orange back wall. Tip still not able to really get a good solid touch on it. Lord, pass back in towards the middle. Dragonfish, you can try to get over Borchad. Borchad does get the dunk, and Caden to Lord. Gonna try to latch onto the downfield pass, get it to pass Tip. Oh, the backwards pass, but Caden couldn't get out of the way of the ball, and they blocked the clearance. Oh, Dragon to Caden. Dragon needs to keep it up. 1 second left, 0 seconds, and it's gonna drop. Tibostan cleaning out the finishing off the series in game number 5. Tibostan looking very good after a relatively dry game number 1. And the Gac Guys took a while to get back into it, and they did enough to force game 5, but here in game 4, it was just a little bit too late. It was too little too late. And with the defense not able to hold up, Tibostan was just able to outscore Gac in game number 5. But a great series between these two. Both these teams now going to be 1-1 on the circuit. And this has the makings of a great playoff replay.